Now, I want to talk about how I use these kind of points on my computer system. So, there are choke points still at the recording computer system. What I like to do, because I use a lot of video, I'm doing a lot of video, a lot of 4K, not as much 6, but definitely 4K and 1080p. But I'm also running HD audio, so I'm doing a lot of HD audio at 96K. And so I do sessions of audio that are above 100 tracks at 96K. I'm also working a lot of video in long forms, like an hour long video in 4K is very, very consuming and very, very difficult to work with. So there's a certain method that I particularly use, and the method is pretty simple. Um, I'm on a Mac Pro, so I have 6 cores of CPU. I have 32 gigs of RAM. The graphics is all covered in that, in having its own isolated graphics elements for those, so those are fine. But the big thing is it comes down to the protocol. So what I like to do, and the way that it actually works really well for me, is I run a Thunderbolt 2 connection to a 12 terabyte hard drive, or it's actually a RAID, two 6 terabytes connected to each other uh, system. But again, we're only getting a 6 gigabit transfer across something that could go up to 20. So we're really getting that six. But the way I use it is this is my main drive for daily things, for documents, for PowerPoints, for all the daily activity that's not a heavy project, and for archiving the big projects. So then what I do is I use on my system, I use a Thunderbolt 3 connection to get me to this SSD, essentially a 500 gig SSD, to get me transfer speeds that I need to be able to get in at those particular instances. And in that system, that is what's working on my active projects. So if I need to tether to or jump to a MacBook Pro or something like that, the Thunderbolt 3 compatibility is already there. I also use that SSD on my Blackmagic camera, so like that solid state drive is also going to be moving back and forth from a Blackmagic camera. So it's not the same one. I have a few of these, but the goal is that active projects are going to be on my fastest drive using my fastest protocol and archived in low low load drives or elements are going to go to my archive drive or my larger drive because it's more cost effective. I mean, and truly, as you start increasing the size of this, you kind of see that it actually becomes the same price as these old school ones at much larger volume formats. So that's basically the way that I operate. It's been a fluid way for me, and I'd encourage you to kind of take a look at how you're operating or manipulating those files as you're working on heavy project loads.